This morning on BRN, what small business owners want you to know about credit card fees. Joining me now to discuss this, Anna Staples is with Bankrate. Anna, great to see you. Thanks for joining us on the program this morning.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, we're going to talk about a piece you wrote about how small business owners and credit cards kind of interact with each other. And it's a perfect, by the way, it's a perfect conversation because we've interviewed your colleague, Ted Rossman, about credit cards and how they impact consumers. So it's great to kind of follow up and see the perspective of the small business owner. So I guess my first question to you is, how important are credit cards to small business owners, and how do they impact small business owners?
Credit cards are very important to small business owners because even though cash is still king, and I think 67% of people still use cash when shopping in person, but cards follow up very, very closely. So if a business doesn't accept credit card payments, there's high chance that they're going to lose on a lot of customers. So yes, I would say credit cards are quite important to businesses.
Yeah, and are there, just for consumers out there, you hand over your credit card, the merchant swipes it, now you don't even swipe, you just tap. But there are fees that the merchant typically, the small business typically pays for the use of the credit card. Is that correct?
Correct. They're called merchant fees, and these are charges that businesses pay for accepting card payments. So every time that you pay with your credit card, the merchant pays a percentage of that transaction to accept your payment.
And is it a percentage? And do you know, generally speaking, because I would imagine different cards and companies have different rates, but is there a general consensus on what that percentage might be?
Indeed, average merchant fees vary by card network, but generally, on average, it's between 1.5% and 3.5% that goes from the revenue that the business makes. So it doesn't sound like a lot if you think about it, but just imagine, say you are making $100,000 per year, and then you pay 2.5% every year. That's $2,500 just for accepting the payment method. So, these things add up, and for a small business, this can be significant.
Yeah, and I guess as a follow to that, are these fees at all negotiable? So say if Jeff Snyder has his own, well, I have my own business, but let's say Jeff Snyder has a small mom and pop art dealership. Do I have the ability to negotiate a lower fee with my provider?
In theory, you can, but it can be difficult. And this is especially true for small businesses because they tend to work with those popular point of sale system providers, and they usually have an integrated processor. So that doesn't really leave much space for negotiation, even though you can add a different processor if you can pay a premium for that, which can be pretty expensive. And so, according to also some business owners that I spoke to, adding that third-party processor also adds friction to the checkout process, which, is not a good experience for the customer. So they can kind of find themselves in this situation where even if they can negotiate those fees, it's usually not something they prefer to do.
Yeah, and you talk about these fees, and I actually have seen them in some instances on my credit slip. I still old school, so I like receipts, and sometimes you can see them when you check out. There's like $3 or $5 or $2. When you talk to small business owners, what would they like consumers to know about using a credit card? Because you talked about cash is king. Secondarily, using a credit card or some type of service. So what would small business owners would like consumers to know when they pull that credit card out to tap?
I think it's very important to remember that however you choose to pay, you are supporting that small business, even if they do have to pay a fee for it. Because if there's a choice to pay a fee for a transaction or to lose a customer altogether, of course, I feel like a lot of businesses will choose to pay the fee. And if you are considering paying with cash, and if it is the business that you want to support, it's a business you trust, of course, you can always make that chance. But just remember, that is not the only way you can support that business. Word of mouth is also a very, very good currency when it comes to supporting your favorite small business. Just let all your friends and family know that, it's an amazing business. Leave positive reviews online, support them on social media. Your credit card or your cash is not the only way, you can provide support for that business.
Yeah, and especially we have inflation, although it seems to be tamped down a little bit. Cooling inflation, I guess, is what the Fed refers to it. So there's a lot of inflation. And Anna, we're coming up on the holiday season. Now is probably a good time if you want to shop for a loved one to get a holiday gift, or maybe a Halloween gift, because we're right around the corner from Halloween. You can do that and support a small business.
Yeah, absolutely. And I would definitely encourage people to do that. We spend so much money during holidays, and it's a perfect opportunity to do, to support your favorite small business and, bring some joy to your loved ones. So
Yeah.
definitely, if you do want to use your credit card, do not feel bad about it. After all, credit cards provide superior protection for consumers. And, once your cash is gone, it's gone.
Yeah, I think a lot of, just anecdotally, and I mean, I know I spend a lot on a credit card. I don't run up a lot of bills, but I mean, instead of holding a lot of cash, when I was a kid, cash was king, and you held cash. I didn't have credit cards as a youngster. A lot of people now using that credit card, they're paying for everything, gas, food, school books with that card.
Correct. And, I think there are a lot of good reasons for it. And it's not just the protections that I mentioned, which are an important reason because, if something goes wrong, your credit card issuer is in your corner. You won't be liable for any fraudulent charges. If something is wrong with your purchase, you can reach out to your credit card issuer, let them know, hey, I can't resolve this with the merchant. Can you help me out with this? And, they can. But besides that, a lot of credit cards offer rewards. So, say you're shopping for your loved ones and your friends, and it's the holiday season, you also get a little bit of percentage back, But again, on the other side of it, this is why merchant pay those fees, partially. This is what pays for your rewards and your benefits. So it's always a twofold situation.
Yep, you got to kind of walk that fine line. And a great article, great piece. Thanks so much for joining us, and we look forward to having you back on the program again very soon.
Thank you.
And we're back again tomorrow for another edition of BRN. Until then, I'm Jeff Snyder. Stay safe, keep on saving, and don't forget, roll with the changes.